Last night, a draft of a Supreme Court opinion completely doing away with the Roe versus Wade decision from nearly 50 years ago was leaked. For those of you who woke up to this news with great unease, I am with you. I have a story that I had intended to share at a later date, but given the circumstances, I've decided to share it now. First off, to those of you who hold deeply religious beliefs on this issue, who are rejoicing at the news, I respect your viewpoint. The very topics of when does life begin and what rights do I have over my own body have been debated by theologists, philosophers, and scientists over the millennia. Whatever beliefs you hold, it is a belief, not a fact. And it is always troubling to me when one group fights so very hard to impose their beliefs onto millions in this nation who do not share in it. To allow states to let local legislators who often represent the most extreme spectrum of political views codify these religious beliefs into law is very frightening. The black and white views do not reflect the very complex situations and difficult decisions that women, their partners, and their medical advisors struggle with every day. I have been blessed to have had 2 children with my ex-wife, both of whom are now in their 20s, making their way through life, having a positive impact on their communities. But with those 2 blessings came 3 additional difficult and failed pregnancies. 2 of those were through miscarriage, but it's the 3rd one that I want to share with you now. In between the births of my 2 children was a 3rd child. I was in my mid-20s and at work when I got the call from my wife, who was 5 months into the pregnancy. She shared with me through fits of crying the devastating news she received from the doctor that our unborn child had anencephaly. And that's a birth defect in which the neural tube in the brainstem fails to close, resulting in a brain and skull that only partially forms or fails to form at all. While the rest of the body and organs develop normally, there is no brain, and the child is essentially unconscious from the beginning with no hope of treatment or recovery. I can't possibly speak on behalf of my ex-wife or describe how she felt upon receiving this news. As for me, I did not handle it as gracefully as I should have, and suffered from an immaturity that comes with being only 25 years old. Being in a state of shock, we relied almost completely on our doctor, an absolutely wonderful man who had been involved with all of our pregnancies and the births of our 2 children. Because of the health risks posed to my ex-wife, we decided to terminate that pregnancy. That decision was very, very hard. It wasn't made frivolously, and it was hard enough to make without the intrusion of some elderly man in the state capitol thumping his Bible and making those decisions for us. Think about it. We have legislators who draw a line in the sand stating that life begins at conception, and from that point, hands off. There are others who look only to the existence of a heartbeat and then remove all decision-making from there. All it takes are a few more lawmakers like that, and suddenly this becomes the law of the land. And I can tell you from personal experience, the lives that will be ruined, that have already been ruined by this line of thinking, will be immeasurable. Let the mothers, let the families work with their doctors and their spiritual advisors to make the decisions that best fit the situation and circumstances. And finally, to those who are reveling in this leaked Supreme Court document, I issue you a word of caution about hubris. The great pendulum that swings back and forth over the centuries currently has swung too far in one direction, and it will come back. I urge you to work productively with others on more effective solutions to the problem other than imposing laws and death penalties on those who break those laws. Help improve and increase sex education among our youth. Make contraceptive options more available. Make maternal health care more affordable and available. And make the economics of childcare less burdensome. That is a way forward that yields the same results without destroying lives in the process. To the others that are rightly worried about recent developments, hang in there and know that there are those who will fight back against this. Do your part by helping those people get elected to office. Thank you.